All right, so my little rock star.
I gotta do my intro. So my name is Tanika Reed, and I'm in cohort 6 of Moreland University's Teach Now program. I have with me my mentor Reese. This is my final video in clinical teaching that incorporates InTASC standards 1 through 10. Okay.
So, Miss Reed, my little shining star and shooting star, I am so proud of you and how you have grown over these 10 years, 10 weeks that you have been doing this student teaching. And so I'm happy that I recommended this program to you as well so that you would be able to even grow further through the program, because I know that you are baptized literally in CPS and how we do things in CPS way. But this also gave you a little push to show you how, hey, maybe, we do work for CPS and there's some things that we should do, but let's see how we think out the box and add some of those things into our classroom as well. And so I know I have said over the years, you would be great being an instructional coach in math because math is your love. And as I mentioned before, I get an opportunity to be in your classroom and see the whole lesson, the lesson from start to finish, which is an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And so I'm able to walk around and see how your students engage and ask them questions. And one thing that stands out to me is that I can tell that this classroom has become student centered because I don't need to ask you or even watch you teach anymore. I can watch the children learn and how they approach each of their problems and how they do their problems and see that they are learning in this classroom, that they're able to implement everything that you have taught them to themselves as well as support their friends. And so I love the fact that you have gotten them to a point, and that should be our goal at the end, that our classroom becomes student centered and not necessarily a lecture where we're actually lecturing kids every day. But as the school year comes to an end and that last marking period, those last 10 weeks really should be more focused on the kids. And so I'm able to see all of those things. As I said, I love the assessment that you do in your classroom, and those assessments are pretty much based upon how we do it in CPS. Since I have worked in New Orleans and I've taught in where I've taught in New Orleans and done leadership and admin in New Orleans as well as Delaware, I got an opportunity to see how the world views and how each school district kind of does assessments differently. And so I'm going to be able to look outside the box and inside of the box and say that according to CPS and how they do their assessments, you're doing an absolute great job. What you implement in your classroom is how CPS has implemented data, and how we should do it. But also in becoming a greater teacher, it's great for you to look at how other districts look at their data and how they're using that data, especially those school districts such as Maine and Connecticut and all of them where they're the top 5 out of the United States. And that will kind of sort of bring you into becoming a better teacher and thinking to say, okay, I'm still going to implement how CPS wants me to do assessments, but I also want to get my children to grow like they are in Maine. I want my students to achieve those goals. So how are they using data? How are they data driven? What does their data look like in their school? And so I think just thinking out of the box too and being able to expose yourself to some of that is going to create you to be more than just a teacher. And for years I've told you, even in my position, that you were more than a teacher, that you should literally be an instructional coach for grades K through 8 and teaching teachers, because one thing that you do well is that you teach others. I will say this, I remember being on the team with you when we were all 4th grade teachers, and we had an instruction coach, and she didn't know the curriculum. She didn't know the curriculum. And so it was you who really taught us, because Eureka Math was very new and most of us had never taught Eureka Math, but you were a pro at it. So you took that lead and you went ahead and you strived and you taught us, as well as that instructional coach years ago, how to do that math. And so one thing, you will walk into your classroom and you have that curriculum and other curriculums down packed. You take the time to study your curriculums to make sure that you are teaching them correctly. And as I mentioned before, one thing I love is that you just don't teach them the Eureka way. You teach them several ways, because several ways is what's going to make them stand out. It's what's going to make them become great students and great adults. Because if we teach them just one way, when they get to a place where it's not taught that way, and we know this too because we live in Chicago, so everybody doesn't do Eureka Math. Some people do reveal math, some people do envision math, some people do all type of different maths. And so one thing I love about you is that once your kids leave your classroom, if they transfer out, they know how to do whatever math is put in front of them. And that's the key to success. That's where you're really building education. It's not, oh, I think that this curriculum is great, because one is not going to be great. It takes multitudes of ways of how you teach children. And that's why we learn in different learning styles. And so in your classroom, you're able to see that you teach it based upon kids' learning style. You teach it based upon that visual, that pictorial, that concept, that abstract. You see all of those things in your classroom. And so that really stands out with them. Your engagement has always been phenomenal. I've seen over the years that even when those kids come in and like, I hate math. And so you always say, by the end of the year, you're going to love it. And it never fails. Those kids absolutely love math. I mean, they love math. And so, it hurts my feelings because I love reading and writing, but they love math. And so that's what we want to do as teachers. We want to develop them into learning everything, learning education, to chase after education, to want education to be our first goal as we're progressing and as children and becoming teenagers and adults. So that part I absolutely love. Your concepts, your engagement, your student-centered in your classroom, your positive relationship with your children. Relationship building and positivity is everything. Kids will work hard for you when they know you care. Kids will work hard for you when they know you want what's best for you, best for them. Kids will work hard for you when you have taking the time to show them what will help them succeed. And in your classroom, you model that. The kids know that, and that's why they go so hard. As I said before, your love for math becomes their love for math. And that's how it should be. As an educator, what I love at the end of the school year, if it's reading or writing, because that's my love, my kids come out of my classroom, or they came out of my classroom learning reading and math, and they develop a love for it. And so that's what really makes you stand out. So my goal is after you finish this program, I hope that you would decide to come over to the administrator's lab with me and do some instructional coaching with some of the teachers. And that's going to be it. I always tell you this too. You do really good in just supporting your one class, and those test scores look phenomenal. But the gifting that you have could be for the whole school, could be for the whole district, could be for the whole world. Absolutely. So I'm definitely going to be able to, work with you and push you. But as I said before, I'm really excited that you took my suggestion and you went ahead and you did this program, because as I said, I always thought you was a great teacher, but this program has pushed you in a lot of areas, and your teacher has also pushed you in some areas too to make you grow. And so that's really a part of just building us up and getting us to be where we're supposed to be. So I am ultimately proud of you. I can't wait till you finish this program and you begin to even go higher in where you're supposed to go. And as I said, as I always say, your children have a positive relationship with you, and that love for math means everything, because we know this as teacher. That's one thing. As soon as you say reading the math, the kids are like, oh. And so when you get in that classroom and you're like, I'm gonna change that to like, I can't wait to do reading and math. But that's what you bring as well. So congratulations to you finishing your student teaching and going forth and going higher. And as I said, you've been teaching for years now, so this isn't new, but this definitely pushed you out of your comfort zone into more, because it exposed you into different standards, different ways of thinking, and you were able to meet different people who taught around the world. And so, as I said, Chicago Public Schools has their one set of how they like things done, but also this showed you, okay, well, this is great how we do this, but how about me implementing a little bit of this, because this is working here, this is going on here. So yeah, I am extremely proud of you. Congratulations.
Well, Miss Reese, let me just say, I really couldn't have done this program without you. I had some high highs and I had some low lows, but I really appreciate it. Like when I think about the completion of module 8, I think about like how I couldn't even have made it through module 8 without you. Like it was the loss of my foster son, like a lot of stuff went on for me, like personally, and that, you know, although you were my mentor for this module, but I felt like you've been my mentor in life. Anything teaching related, whenever I need you or whenever I'm having like a rough time at it, you have given me some awesome advice. I just really like to thank you for supporting me. I don't know where I would be at if I didn't have your support, but I know, like, if I need the voice of reason, I know to call my mentor, have my voice of reason, see which direction I'm going in. And I just really appreciate the program, because the program did allow me to see teaching from a different viewpoint. It allowed me to see teaching all around the world. So
yeah,
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the instructor in this program too. She really pushed me to turn in my best work and to be my best self, and to and just like the interaction with all of my cohort members, the interaction with the teacher and the mentors, and watching just mentors mentor other people from different countries. It has really filled my bucket to do more than I've been doing just within my own classroom. I'm actually going to come back and get a master's degree from Moreland University when I find some money. I'm going to get me a master's degree, but I'm working at those kinks now also. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And you have a great summer.
You too. Thank you so very much.
All right.